Commissioner, you're recognized for 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to be judicious about coming into these chambers for public comment. I came here once before. I'm here now for a second time, and if I come for a third time, you guys are going to find out that I only have 2 suits. So this is probably going to be my last time here, but I'm here for an important reason. And you know it, we all know it. Last week, a gentleman named George Floyd had an encounter with a police officer that led him to be handcuffed, thrown on his face, and that led that police officer to put his knee on his neck, even after Mr. Floyd begged him to stop, even after he cried out for his mother who is deceased, and even after he didn't have a pulse. He kept his knee on his neck and his hands in his pockets and killed George Floyd while 3 other officers watched and while multiple people got it on video. And nothing happened to them until people marched and protested and unfortunately rioted. Nothing happened to any of the officers. And so in order for the criminal justice system to work on them the way that it would work on any one of us, folks had to do things that they would have preferred not to do. And over the past week, I have watched protests on TV. I have participated in marches and protests and prayer vigils myself, both in Lake Worth and in West Palm Beach. And I have had to confront myself and ask myself, what could I have done before this week, and what can I still do to reform policing in my community? And I've had to grapple with that, and I'm going to continue to grapple with that for probably as long as I'm an elected official. But I am here today to ask you to grapple with that question. What can you do as constitutional officers in a county that is larger than 11 states, that has a tremendous budget, a great portion of which goes to law enforcement? I believe, and we believe, that you have the power to force a conversation on common sense reforms that can be enacted locally to reform the way that policing happens in our community. And I don't want to speak for my colleagues, but I believe we are here to say that we love all of you, but our support is conditioned on your support for reforms to policing in Palm Beach County and in our communities. There are just some common sense things, whether that's community review boards for officer complaints, whether that's real independent investigations of potential uses of excessive force, not by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which is also a policing organization, but perhaps by the Attorney General of this state or by the state attorney. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, they even threw out the Inspector General. That's an idea. But we want common sense reforms. I am saying community review boards, independent investigations of potential uses of force, and in addition to that, even a local registry. Senator Powell, I believe, will be pushing legislation for a statewide registry of these officer complaints. Perhaps a local registry of these complaints would do. And in addition to that, reforms to the policies that govern the way that these officers are trained and held accountable here locally. I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Commissioner Hard.